Good morning, everybody. For today's video, I wanted to give you a little bit more information about the transformational process, why we struggle, why we get stuck, and what we must do to get to the other side to see our desires become manifest in the physical. So for my example, I'm going to use a woman entrepreneur, mainly because I work with a lot of women entrepreneurs. And she's struggling in her business. She can't get clear, she can't move forward. She's not confident, and she's definitely not getting the consistent results that she hoped for when she started her business. So let's look at the process for a sec. When she started or when she decided to start her business, let's say she was on the shores of inspiration. She was on the shores of her old comfort zone where she had mastered whatever she was doing before. Perhaps it was a corporate job. Whatever it was, she decided to start her own business, and this business became her purpose. And I always think that our purpose is whatever lights us up, whatever makes us really happy, and it is whatever we want to experience in this life. So she came up with a business that really suited her purpose. And she stood on the shores of her comfort zone and she looked out and she saw what we'll call Pleasure Island. And Pleasure Island was what she visioned her business to be like. So she looked at where she was and she looked at where Pleasure Island was, and there was some sea in between, but it didn't seem too deep and it didn't seem too scary, and she knew it would be a bit of an effort starting her own business. So she decided to do it. She got really motivated, worked out her vision, and took the leap of faith. So she dived into the water, and as she started swimming, she started realizing that the water was a little bit deeper than she thought. There were a lot more, there were things like currents that she hadn't expected. As she started moving a bit further away from land, and that door was now closed, she started getting nervous. Maybe there were sharks in the water, maybe piranhas, there were probably monsters in there. So she tried not to look down into the water. She tried to just swim as fast as she could to get to Pleasure Island, which is where she really wanted to be. And chances are Pleasure Island was all about time, lifestyle, and financial freedom in her business. So she started struggling a little bit, and she came across a small island. So she thought she'd rest there a while. So she gets up on the island, and she decides to regroup, re-strategize, and decide how she's going to make this last leg to get to Pleasure Island. And she can see Pleasure Island. It's all in the light. She's starting to have a really good idea of what that looks like, but she just doesn't understand how she's going to get from this little island that she rested on to Pleasure Island, which is where she really wants to be. So before too long, this little island that she is resting on becomes Pain Island. And the waters between Pain Island and Pleasure Island start to become very dark and very foreboding. And she's very nervous. She's not quite sure how to get there. Now she understands there might be something scary in the water, and so her imagination goes wild. And they're definitely man-eating sharks. They're great whites. They're piranhas. There's monsters. There's everything that wants to hurt her. And the only place that she kind of feels safe is on Pain Island. So she hangs around there for a while, building up her courage. Sometimes she dives into the water and she swims out a little bit. She treads some water. This would be taking some action, some inspired action, doing all the things that she thinks that she should do, trying to work out exactly what Pleasure Island is all about. What do those people want? What message is going to attract them to her business, etc. And so she hangs out there, treads water a little bit, and that becomes too draining and too exhausting because she can't see the way to get to Pleasure Island. So she goes back to Pain Island, and again, after a week or so on Pain Island, she's feeling stronger again. She's feeling a bit more courageous, and she starts pacing the beach of Pain Island, trying to work out how to get to Pleasure Island. And that's where she is stuck. That is where she's struggling. And that's exactly what my coaching does. I literally come and meet you where you are at on Pain Island, and I help you shift your perspective so you can see a different way to get to Pleasure Island. We look at things on what is Pleasure Island. are you crystal clear on exactly where you're going? Because as you know, we energize what we focus on, and if you're focusing on the struggle, you're going to stay stuck in struggle. But if you really get clear on what Pleasure Island is all about for you, then it's easier to energize it and to find your way clear. So that's what I do in terms of mindset mastery, having the right mindset, making sure that the mind chatter in your mind is staying positive and really, really focused on where you're wanting to go. And then the key aspect of what I do is in those waters, and of course we know that water represents emotion, so it's quite a good analogy. In those waters are a whole lot of limiting beliefs and thoughts and things that you've bought and sold to yourself that you think are real, that are actually holding you back on Pain Island. And that's what I really do, is help you go within. I guide you into the subconscious to find all of the limiting beliefs that are holding you back, and to shift once we clear them. And it's actually interesting, it's very, very quick to clear stuff in the energetic. Once it's clear in the energetic, to give you the steps that you can take to anchor it in, to energize it, to make it denser, and to drop it into the physical, and so that your Pleasure Island becomes manifest. So that's just a good way to see the process of transformation, and to know that if you're stuck and you're struggling and you're hanging around Pain Island, that there are so many ways to get you from Pleasure Island. The first thing that you have to realize is that you wouldn't even know about Pleasure Island. You wouldn't even have Pleasure Island in your imagination if it wasn't already possible for you. So if you're struggling and you're stuck, then I'd love to talk to you. I've got a fantastic 90-day program, which essentially is that getting you from Pain Island to Pleasure Island, so that you are confident, on purpose, and can see with absolute clarity exactly what it is that you're trying to birth into the world. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, send me a note or respond to this video, and let's set up a discovery call. You can actually go on to peterpanos.com/discovery call. Let's set up a 30-minute free clarity call or discovery call, so that you can get a little bit more information about where you are stuck and your personal struggles, and to see if my program is a fit to get you from Pain Island to Pleasure Island, which is where you want to be. And I also wanted to let you know that I'm putting my prices up from the 1st of September. And so if you sign up before the end of August, there's a $1,500 saving for you. I'm planning to start my new programs in the beginning of October. So if you look at October, November, December for your 90-day, and start 2017 on purpose, confident, courageous, and ready to explore Pleasure Island.